It was a Wednesday when evening in the town of Gravemont. The rain had been filling since morning, soaking the streets, filling the air with mist. Everyone stayed indoor when Wednesday came. People whispered about the old legend. On every seventh Wednesday, the shadows walk among us. But Selene Blackthorn, a 17 years old girl with pale skin and sharp, thoughtful eyes, never fade legends. She was different, different from others, always curious, always drawn to what scared people most. That night, while the storm raged outside, Celine heard a whisper through her window. It was soft like a sigh carried by the wind. Come to the library, it is time. The old Gravemont Library stood abandoned for years. Its doors were chained, windows broken, and ivy crawled up its walls like claws. Celine arrived, umbrella in the hand. As lightning flashed, she saw the door was already open. No chains, no locks, just darkness inside. She stepped in. The smell of damp pages and dust filled the air. Shelves stood crooked, books half burned, as though someone had tried to erase their secrets. One book lay open on the table, glowing faintly. Its title read, The Book of Wednesday. Celine turned a page, and the letters began to shift before her eyes, arranging themselves into a prophecy. On the seventh Wednesday, the child of storm will face the shadows. She will either free them or will be devoured. Celine froze. Tonight was the seventh Wednesday, and she knew deep down the book was speaking to her. The book's pages fluttered wildly, then stopped. A drawing of the old Ravenwood mansion appeared. Celine followed the clue. The mansion stood outside the town. Its window was shattered, its gate rusted. Inside the hall were lined with mirrors, tall, broken, covered in dust. But these mirrors didn't reflect normally. Each one showed a different version of Selene. In one, she was smiling brightly, surrounded by her friends. In another, she was crying in the dark. And in another, she wasn't even a human, her eyes glowing, her hands like claws. Then one mirror cracked and whispered in a low voice, You fear yourself more than anything else. Suddenly, the glass shook. From the mirror crawled black hands, cold as ice, dragging her inside. Celine fell through the glass and landed in a world where the sky was blood red and the trees were bare and the ground looked like cracked stones. The air smelled of ash and iron. From the mist walked a tall figure, a shadow regent. His cloak floated around him like smoke, and his voice was deep and hollow. Welcome, my child, he said. These words belonged to the shadows, and now so do you. Celine stood tall, even though her hands shook. Why me? She said. The regent's glowing eyes studied her. Because you are the both light and dark. You can command us or be consumed. The regent raised his hands. The world around Celine shifted. She stood in her own bedroom, but it was twisted. Wrong. The walls bled shadows. Her reflections in the mirror smiled cruelly. Her deepest fear had come alive. Her reflection spoke. You want to be accepted, loved, normal, but you never will be. You will always be alone. Celine's chest tightened. Her legs weakened. For a moment, she almost believed it. Then she clenched her fist. No, I don't need to be normal. I don't need to be like anyone else. My darkness is mine. My fear is mine. And I will not run from it. Light burst from her chest, cutting through the shadows. Her reflection screamed and shattered into pieces. The shadow of Regan stepped back. his smoky form trembling. The creatures of the darkness all lowered their heads. Selene's voice was steady now. Shadows are not my enemy, they are my strength. Without shadows, light is meaningless. The shadows swirled around her, wrapping like her cloak, settling above her head like a crown. The regent bent his knees. You are not our prisoner, you are our queen. Selene woke up on the steps of the library as the sun rose. The town was quiet, peaceful as if nothing had happened. But she knew better. She had faced the shadow and survived. That morning, she wrote in her notebook, fear is not something to run from. Fear is a crown worn only by the brave. A raven landed near her, its black eyes gleaming. Selene smiled faintly. The curse of Wednesday wasn't broken, it has chosen its master. The story of Selene reminds us sometimes what you fear most is not the darkness outside, but the one inside us. And when we stop running, when we accept our own shadows, that's when we truly become powerful.